Okay, guys, time to clear the yard. Yeah, come on, man, let's go.
Got a couple more shifts to do here.
Come on, man, time to go.
Got a couple more shifts to do here.
Let's go, people.
I'm gonna do a couple more shifts over here. I got to do a couple more shifts.
Time to go, man.
I got a couple more shifts to do, man. That's all.
Time to go.
If you've worked in corrections for a while,
Let's go, man.
you know there are good days and there are bad days. There are rewarding days and frustrating days. And even though it's not a good idea to dwell on it too much, you also know that any day could be your last day.
Back up. Get your hands off me then, man. You don't touch, punk. What are you talking about this punk? Huh? You better back off, chump. Back off me, man.
Kill it there. Don't be scared.
Now, this is why officer safety is so important. There's a real distinction between being afraid of the inmates, which would be wrong, and merely taking reasonable precautions for your own safety. The point of this film is not to make you afraid or paranoid, but rather to begin the discussion in your institution of what can happen to you and what you can do about it. The fact is that each year, hundreds of correctional workers are hurt and sometimes killed by inmates in jails, prisons, and penitentiaries across the country. It's been going on so long that many officers just accept it as one of the dangers of the job. For example, you're approaching a cell door just when the inmate happens to open it.
Hey, man, I'm sorry, man. I didn't see you coming, man. God damn, we mother.
You're escorting an inmate, and suddenly you're on the floor. You're standing in a cell block just when an inmate happens to accidentally drop something on you.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Jesus, it was an accident. I dropped it.
Man.
I dropped it. I'm sorry. It's an accident.
You're doing a simple cell search, but you end up a bloody mess because the inmate put a razor blade where she knew you would run your hand. You're handcuffing a prisoner, and before you know it, he has a weapon to use against you. Two inmates are fighting. You rush in to stop it, and it's you who gets hurt.
Hey, gentlemen, excuse me. Let me through a little bit. Excuse me.
You're simply walking through a group of inmates, something you do every day. But this time, you don't make it.
Cutting the meat as close to 10 ounces as we can.
Or you're just making a few suggestions, and suddenly you're fighting for your life.
That's enough! Hey, take it easy, Fred.
Needless to say, there are hundreds of ways you can be hurt or even killed by inmates. These are just a few. But each one has actually happened, and in each case, there was something the officers could have done to maybe prevent it from happening. For example, to avoid having things accidentally dropped on you, in a multi-tiered cell block, it's a good practice to walk under one of the tiers. To avoid having something like this happen to you, it's probably a good idea to walk on the inmate's strong arm side, usually his right arm, and one step behind. That way, if he does try something, it'll take longer, long enough to be able to defend yourself. Of course, if you have any doubts at all about any inmate, you want to make sure there are at least 2 officers escorting him. As you know, it's part of your job to find out about the inmates you deal with. You don't want his past history to completely distort how you act with him, but you don't want to forget it either. To avoid being accidentally smashed in the face, it's a good idea to approach cell doors from the side hinges. The main idea in every case is prevention. That's why most experienced officers are careful when entering a blind stairwell. You don't want to walk within arm's reach of open bars, particularly at night. Now, even though many officers forget, it's also not a good idea to sit with your back to an open door. To avoid something like this, you can't afford to forget the rule of cell searches. Look before you touch. If you do, you can find razor blades stuck in soap bars, bedposts, locker channeling, almost anywhere, just waiting for you.
Okay, Tori, let's go.
To avoid something like this, it's a good practice to always handcuff from behind. If an inmate is dangerous enough to be handcuffed, you certainly don't want to supply them with a weapon.
Okay, let's go.
It's also a good idea to practice your procedures for escape, fire, or riot. To actually go through the motions on your own. Now, jails and penitentiaries and prisons are all constructed in odd ways. What looks good on paper may be confusing until you actually practice. In a real emergency, your safety and that of your fellow officers will be determined by your ability to respond quickly. If it's a good idea to practice, it's a bad idea to study those emergency procedures at your post. Why? Well, there's always the possibility that the inmates can learn them. It's also a bad idea to rush in to break up a fight.
Okay, knock it off!
You do have to restore order, but you have to protect yourself too. You may shout at them to stop, but if they don't, you want to get help before you make them stop. Every situation is different. A life may be in danger. You may feel you can't wait for help. It's really up to you. But if you do go in there, there are some rules. Walk. If there's a crowd, it just increases the tension. Observe. If you're a witness, you want to be a good witness. Talk softly. When you're up close, if you're going to touch, touch lightly. Now, it may sound like an odd way to break up a fight, but it's a very good way to avoid becoming part of the fight.
That's the knife! That's the knife! That's the knife!
If you're suddenly surprised by an armed and highly irrational inmate, again, you want to move slow. Talk softly. Talk constantly. Try to get something between you. You don't want to corner him. Instead, give him an escape route while looking for one yourself.
All right, fellas, look out. Come on, move out.
You may feel you can go anywhere you want in the institution, and you can. But approach determines response. The truth is that many confrontations with inmates are caused by the officers themselves. If you see a confrontation beginning and you're all alone, the procedure always is to back off and go get help. If instead you push the inmates without any regard for courtesy, they may have no choice but to push back. Sometimes they turn on you right away, like this inmate. Sometimes they'll wait for just the right opportunity. As was said, The point of this film is not to promote fear of inmates, which would be wrong, but rather to promote a discussion about what can happen, what has happened, and what can be done about it before it happens again. Certainly, we can learn from our mistakes, but sometimes that's too late.